So, Charity Hammer is coming up, boys. It is a wonderful thing that happens every year. And this year, for Charity Hammer, they've decided to run a big event in the weekend prior to Charity Hammer. For those of you who do not know, Charity Hammer is an annual extravaganza of 40k, where some of the best players in the world gather in Washington, D.C. and put on 72 hours, 4 days of sometimes 4 days of non-stop 40k coverage, 24 hours rolling of games, wacky antics, crazy behind the scenes stuff. Some of the best players in the world get together. It's all for charity, raising money for various charities. Usually it's Child's Play, which is a charity very close to a lot of people's hearts, providing entertainment needs and toys and electronics for children who are going through medical treatment. So please jump in and support. And we are signal boosting this bad boy in the hopes that we can get Charity Hammer as big and as best as it can be.
48 players, 6-round event. Love the chat, by the way. I love everybody chatting with us, coming and hanging out with us. It is absolutely amazing to have y'all come spend some of your time with us during the middle of the week and talk about these tournaments.
Live on Thursday night.
It is.
It is. I wasn't joking.
Dustin, what are we going to see here?
The Imperial Superfaction, there are 2 Sisters, 2 Custodes, 1 Admech, 1 Grey Knight, 1 Imperial Knight. The Space Marine Superfaction, there's 1 Dark Angel, 1 Blood Angel. The Chaos Superfaction, there's 5 Chaos Sup, 1 Tsons, 1 Deathguard, 1 Renegade Knight. Oh my god, are they actually going to be topping the podium right now? Xenos Superfaction, there's 1 Necron, 1 Ork, 3 Tau. They're doing it. Hive My Superfaction, 5 Tyranids. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. No GSC. Come on, guys. It's for charity. Aeldari Superfaction, there's 1 Aeldari, 2 Drukhari, 4 Harlequins, and 3 Asuryani. Oh my god, the faction podium. Chaos Soup is topping the podium, tied with Tyranids here. What is going on?
Emperor's Children have been on the rise. Emperor's Children and Iron Wars actually have been on the rise. And I kid you not, they have been just 1 ounce of luck away from unseating some very dominant list.
Well, now they got a 1 in 5 chance to win this now. Maybe that's the odds they needed. That's it.
That's right.
It'll be their luck. They take each other out in round 3.
Probably. They probably don't play each other. Harlequins second place at 4, and then Asuryani tied at 3. This is a weird podium, and I love it.
I'm here for it. I'm all about it. I love this. This is one of the amazing things we get to do on this show. We highlight metas that have specific flavors. There is a hard nut core of faction specialist chaos players that live in the Washington state area, and they've rocked up. They're like, well, you know what? We're getting in early. The 6 months of chaos starts now in Washington. They're bringing it. I'm here for it. I've done a specific meta breakdown on just to giving you a synopsis of the archetype of what all 5 Chaos Suit players have brought, because this is an awesome aberration and we want to draw as much attention to the unique flavors of the different metas of our great game. So let's jump in and I'll show you a little bit about what they're bringing. So the players are listed as well. So Chuck Arnett, Rick Hill, Zach Gray, Paul Winters, and Jason Bird have all brought Chaos Soup to this event. Chuck has brought Thousand Suns and Renegade Knights. He simply has pretty much, it's the standard Tsons archetype of 20 Chaos, 20 Skyber Cult Terminators with 3 War Dog Executioners.
This is the list I was talking about for Thousand Suns with Knights. This is exactly it. Chuck, you're the man. You listen.
This
the Executioners. It is brutal long range firepower.
Yeah. Which are the Executioners, Paul?
The autocannons, the 3 shot, the 2d3 shot, 3 damage autocannons.
Yeah, -2, not -1 anymore.
Yeah. Are you a melee army? Because you got to go through 20 Terminators to try and stop those boys from shooting. Yeah. You got to chug through 20 Terminators. It's actually really cool. I like it. I think this is exactly what they're missing. They used to have this with the Volkites. They used to have the Volkite Contemptors in here, 1 or 2 of them, but they've dropped off, and these are adding back what they lost and then some. I love this list. Next up, we have Rick Hill. He's playing Iron Warriors, Paul, and Demons. He has a Disco Lord, 3 Decimators, tunes to 3 Obliterators, with 3 units of 3 Noblings and a Demon Prince carrying that Crimson Crown to buff everything. I love this list a lot.
That's an interesting one.
So this
I like the Obliterators. I'm surprised there's not the Cryptus or whatever in this.
Yeah. So what I feel like this one lacks is the easy. So one of the great things that Chaos still has access to is the easy screen clear. They have such good screen clearing options. Be that bikes, be that noise marines. You can just put down your unit, put enough CP in it, all your opponent's screens are gone. They're just gone. And then the decimators get to churn into really valuable stuff. But maybe they're of the opinion, well, this player's of the opinion, that everyone's only using valuable stuff. Crisis Suit bricks, warriors, Tyranid warriors, big Griblies. Like, decimators are phenomenal into the Tyranid matchup and the tower matchups.
Yeah, a lot of Tyranid stuff just comes towards you. Like, there really isn't a. I mean, there's a lot of maneuvering for sure, but like middle of the board is congested with a lot of Tyranids and not a lot of screens.
Exactly right. Someone's pointed out that I call Scarab Cult Terminators Scarabos, and I'm waiting for it to take off. I want somebody to rock up to Kicker at an event with a box of Scarabo cereal. Like, just print it out, put on some Fruit Loops, and just make the meme live, people. Somebody. I'm leaving it wide open for you. Next up, we have Zach Gray, who's playing Disciples of Be'lakor and Renegade Knights. Now, this is an interesting one. So he's got Be'lakor, big unit of Bloodletters, big unit of Horrors, big unit of Beasts, and a Renegade Knight Abominant. And I'm wondering if you guys can figure this one out. Why the addition?
The addition of the Abominant?
Yeah. What's he doing for that list?
That's a good question. I mean, I guess you can make him. It's just another durable beast. I mean, he does
draws things away from Be'lakor.
Yeah,
the Abominant's going to be like hit transhuman, 4-up invuln all the time, have the feel no pain power. Like, I feel like it's just another big thing so Be'lakor can be more aggressive and not have to worry about everything that's big shooting at him, right?
Well, I thought there's a nice duality between the two, between Be'lakor, who's -1 to hit, -1 to wound, 4+ invuln from range, and the Abominant that is cannot reroll anything, can have a 4-up invuln, 5-up feel no pain.
He fits well with the Be'lakor theme.
Yeah, there is a nice duality between those two big Griblies, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Given again, you can go and dominate 2 sections of the table, whereas you're waiting on Be'lakor, I guess, to do a lot of double work. In this case, the Abominant can. He's I don't want to say he's as cool as Be'lakor, but he's definitely a Be'lakor light situation.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, next 57. Sorry, I did not ignore you. I am absolutely planning on going to Capital City Bloodbath in Ottawa. It's just the week after WTC, so I have to figure out the logistics and gather wife brownie points.
Yes, I see buddy Brett in chat too asked if I let you know that we hung out with Diffie this past weekend. Yep, you got to go back and see the first part of the show where we talk about some of the exploits and stuff that we did. It was absolutely cool hanging out, and I sent some pictures as well. Get jelly.
Get jelly.
Yeah, I am very jelly. Paul Winters is up next of our Chaos Menagerie. Not sure if this is Chaos Soup. He's listed himself as Slanesh, and whenever someone lists themselves as Slanesh, I take it as Chaos Soup. He's got he's got essentially demons plus Be'lakor. And he's kind of trying to turn the wheel back. 3 keepers plus Shalaxi plus Be'lakor, as in the 5 combo monster mash rush eat their faces. It's pretty simple.
But that did well.
It does do well, man. It does do quite well still.
Do you think that it just became less popular because it wasn't? I mean, what was hot at the time? Adeptus Mechanicus. A lot more shooting things were popular.
Well, so that's my concern for it now. I actually think it does quite respectably into things like Tyranids, but I have great concern about its abilities into Tau and Asuryani, especially Asuryani. With Asuryani getting a 1 CP rerolls to hit, rerolls to wound into them, like 1 unit of 5 Banshees is just a nightmare. But as it sits right now, I think this is not a crap list. I think Paul will have a great time as well. Our last one is Mr. Jason Bird from Warbird Gaming. I played it. He's got a wonderful shop in Aberdeen, Washington. I've visited. He's playing Deathguard and Renegade Knights, guys. He's got Typhus, double Volkite Contemptor, 2-3 Death Shroud, 2 PBCs, and this is very interesting, a single War Dog with the -1 strength, -1 toughness aura to go along with Deathguard's inbuilt -1 toughness aura.
Which War Dog is it? Is it the one with the Melta or a Carnivore? Did you catch that?
It's not I know it's not a Carnivore. Damn, I'm sorry, I didn't actually.
No, it's okay. There's like 5 different varieties. I'm just curious as to what, because it could easily be the autocannons, and that fits is with this as well. But there's the Gatling cannon, and then with the claw.
Well, I love the idea of this having the Gatling cannon and claw, because then you got 10 guardsmen. I kill all 10, bang, we double buff up to the strength and toughness aura, and then cool, Contagion Rain's at max range now. I got the full -1 strength, -1 toughness aura. Typhus is giving out a bunch of different stuff as well. I actually like the inclusion of the single knight with the Deathguard. I think it adds a little bit of spice.
I like Typhus, but we have not seen him in competitive scene.
Yeah.
But he hits hard, and maybe that's the theme of this list, is getting up there and hitting hard.
Well, this looks like a list of 6 months ago, with the exception of the Typhus change and the War Dog, because it's got the two Volkai Contemptors, which were good, amazing 6 months ago, and the two PBCs, which were the be all end all in the previous before the data slate. So I'm interested to see how this one goes, because I feel like it could go either way.
Burst crawlers, difficult to take down, and if they're using, like the Games Workshop tournament terrain configuration, those Death Shrouds can actually, and Typhus 2 can kind of move around in position and things, and he'll get a lot of utility out of the Plague Burst Crawler. I know
Yeah.
the indirect fire took a bit of a hit, but when those Plague Burst Crawlers connect, which, by the way, it kind of goes back to how they were used to playing with anyway. Like, if you're a longtime Deathguard player,
You had the flames on them, push them up the
well,
board. Yeah.
well, I mean, you just didn't hit all that well. You
That's true.
recently,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you're psyched up. You're in the right mind space to play that game. So could have it figured out.
What I love about this, we have five different iterations of Chaos Soup. There's 5 people playing Chaos Soup and 5 very distinct flavors. No two of these lists are the same. It's actually I love to see it. I hope this is something that holds true once Chaos get their flood of codexes and get their full support. We have 2 more lists to talk about, and then we're hitting over to that Fuego. Anthony Vanella's in attendance, and the only reason I highlighted this is because he's taking Blood Angels, Paul. And I'm like,
Nice.
we gave Dustin a list. We got to give Paul a list. Do you want to read this one out?
Here we go. Yeah, we got Dante, the man, the myth, the legend. 5 incursors, obviously, used for their ability for their deployment options, and then 2 times 5 Death Company. I was talking about Death Company earlier, and I'm willing to bet they have Thunderhammers, and I'm willing to bet the Forlorn Fury is going to be used a couple of times over the course of that weekend. Then a Vanguard detachment with the Sanguinary Priest, 3 times 7 Sanguinary Guard, 10 Vanguard Veterans, a unit of Eliminators, and 2 Landspeeder Storms. We've seen these Landspeeder Storms employed because they are a relatively inexpensive unit with a wide footprint, do all kind of screening and move blocking, and sometimes pick up an objective with them.
This is a full. I mean, if you don't know what the V in Vanilla actually stands for, apparently it stands for violence, because this guy knows no chill. This is a full send. This is the full send. He's got 7 ultra violent units if he combat squads of Vanguard veterans, and that's not even counting Dante as one of those units. I think this list is incredibly aggressive. This is the first time in a while we've seen 2 units of Death Company, and I will tell you right now, both got full complements of Thunderhammers.
That had to have been, yeah.
It's because you just want a good answer for Tyranids. This is the 2 units Death Company is what you should be taking when you're worried about Tyranids, because they go and they annihilate warriors.
They will drop the beat down. In Forlorn
Yeah.
Fury, what that does is it's a stratagem that you employ before the game starts that allows you to move, and I believe advance as well. And then if you get first turn, you're basically in your opponent's deployment zone, and they cannot deny you anything.
Exactly right.
You will slip your bases in, and you will basically stomp whatever it is in front of you.
And I do think the Landspeeder Storms play a really valuable role in this game, because they go like they're the 6 to 8 inches ahead of the main blob, and they're the ones that go and sit on the midboard objectives. And because they're actually kind of hard to remove with small arms, especially if they're out of line of sight, like you can't pick them up with no line of sight shooting anymore unless you've got a couple of Manticores and actually still roll well. So they're the thing you put on objectives in front of the main advance if you don't want to go full send on your opponent, and they have to put out legitimate resources into killing 2 storms on a middle objective. Same can be said, like I said before, about the Eliminators. 3 Eliminators in cover with Armor of Contempt on the wrong side of a wall from their opponent. How do you pick them up? How do you actually pick them up? You have to use a legitimate resource, and then you're just feeding things into the meat grinder of Sangard, of Vanguard, of all these crazy potent units.
And we were talking about Doctrines. The Sanguinary Priest can advance the clock on the Doctrines for a unit or 2, and so putting you right in your peak performance category early in the game.
Exactly right. Dustin, I'm just going to put it out there. This looks like a nightmare for GSC, this list.
I have I have really good local Blood Angel player that I get to play, luckily. Not as often as I'd like to, but I play him a lot, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
Like,
it's how many flamers you got?
They don't do anything against them.
I know.
not a goddamn thing.
Bring them on.
Drills are great, cutters are great, and seismic cannons are amazing. I actually have a lot of demo charges on my list, so I can usually trade well now. One of the reasons I've built my list the way it is now is because of lists like this, because I have to be able to trade well, and it's not doing it well. And I don't like sacrificing a full big G Slayer unit or a big Oclay unit. So now it's 5 men, a demo charge thrown at them, and then if I need to, I charge them and throw the demo charge in close combat too. 65-point unit can now clear a lot of that stuff. It's better. It's better.
Nice,
but
nice.
it's CP heavy. Ah!
Yes. Can't have it all anymore, buddy.
Nope.
We have one more list to discuss. So there was 4 Harlequin players in attendance, and I gave a lot of love to the Chaos players. So I wanted to go and have a look at the Harlequins list. And I've been waiting for the innovation to come for Harlequins that isn't just light Sadeth MSU. And I feel like this is a point of distinction. This is a dark Sadeth list. It's taken by Matt Ryusa. He's got a single battalion, so it's quite future-proofed. He's got a Shadow Seer, Troop Master, 4 units of fully decked out 10-man troop units. 4 10-mans. Decked up to the nines. Special weapons everywhere. Still got 2 units of 5. A unit of 5 Skyweavers, a unit of 4 Skyweavers, and these are the ones that I kind of scratch my head at a little bit. I'm not quite sure how good Skyweavers are. They're respectable, but I'm not sure they're game-breaking anyway. And he's got 1 unit of 3 Void. So he still has 3 Void Weavers, and here's the kicker. Webway Gate. 4 units of Dark Troop sitting in a Webway Gate is freaking terrifying. Like, you need to play, it's a 5 objective mission, there's an objective in the middle of the table. Good freaking luck ever holding that.
It's
ever.
theirs.
It's theirs.
You know
give
what?
it to them.
You can have it. I'm not
We're
going
going.
You
we're
mean
going
because they can
everywhere
just
else.
continue to send units out of the Webway Gate?
in
Yeah.
combat. Just deploy them into combat.
Yeah.
Into combat with you. Absolutely jacked, extra damage, extra rend, extra attack, freaking 10-mans coming out of webways with whatever CP they need to pop down because they've got all the special weapons to just clear whichever option you've given them. I think this is. I love this list. I'm not sure how good it is because I'm waiting to see somebody make Skyweavers good, make them feel good. Because I see them, I played against them. I'm just like, they're just a bit too easy to kill for their points. They don't do as much damage as I feel like they should for their points. But if they're ever going to work in a list, it's probably something like this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's winning this thing?
Vanilla's winning this thing.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on agree. Dustin.
Yeah. Well, no, we're all in agreement. I'm down.
Love that. Funnily enough, that list we just did, the dark list, can pose a hell of a lot of problems.
It actually
Anthony's
can.
list.
It's
For
true,
Anthony's
it
list,
can.
yeah. Especially if Anthony has to go first and the Webway Gate's there, and he has to be like, oh no.